Hi, this is a video about some of the Prairie Moon Nursery seeds that I'm growing this year. It's March 1st and some of these seeds were started in December and in January, so I'm just going to give a little update. If you're not familiar with Prairie Moon Nursery, I would definitely suggest checking them out online. Their website has tons of great information about natives, and they sell lots and lots of varieties. You can find something that's appropriate for your space. They also have a really good catalog, so you can sign up for that as well. All right, let's just jump in right here. The first plant I'm going to show you is Showy Goldenrod, and that's right here. Okay, and Showy Goldenrod likes full to partial sun and medium to dry soil. This one's really pretty in the fall, gives a really great color to the fall garden. And the germination code is 60-day stratification and sowing the seeds on top of the surface. They need light to germinate. And these plants here were put in the refrigerator in a moist paper towel for 60 days, and they were planted into this container on January 21st. And you can see there's, I think there's 4 plants in there, looking pretty healthy and probably about ready to pot up into their own containers. So I'm excited about that these worked out so well, and hopefully we'll have some good fall color with these. Okay, the next plant it's called Purple Love Grass. You can see it's a grass with these really wispy purple seed pods, I think. Those are the seed pods on there. And it likes full to partial sun and dry soil. The germination code is A. It just germinates in a warm location. You don't need to do any pre-treatment. And sow the seeds on the surface. So that's the Purple Love Grass. And here is the plant. Now this was planted on December 29th. So this has been growing for quite a while. There's 3 plants in here, as you can see. Very wispy. They've got some fuzzy hairs going on, if you can see close on there. And this is actually the second time I started them. I started them earlier in December, and they came up, but then they died off. And I think I may have been overwatering them a bit. You always need to read your seed packets. Sometimes I forget to. This likes dry soil. So I've pulled back on the watering a bit, and these seem to be a lot happier. And I'm gonna try to leave them in here a little bit longer just to make sure they're nice and healthy before I transplant them. They've got plenty of room to grow in here. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them in the garden and seeing, they get pretty big, and seeing what these purple wispy seed pods look like. Okay, the next plant is the Obedient plant. This likes full to partial sun and wet to medium soil, and it requires 60 days of cold stratification. And look how pretty those are. Our neighbor down the street had one of these growing by their mailbox last year. It was really beautiful. These here are doing okay. They were put in these pots January 21st after stratification in the fridge. This one, there's one here that died. I think that they weren't really happy under the grow lights. It was maybe just drying them out a bit too much. So I've moved them next, like on a table next to the grow lights. So they're still getting some light, but not overly dried out. And they seem to be a lot happier with that. So I'm gonna leave them in here for a while, as long as they seem happy. And just keep an eye on what kind of light and water they're getting. From my understanding, these are pretty readily self-seeding plants once they get established, so that'll be nice. Oh, and this is the new one coming up, I think, here. Yeah, that looks like, so there's this one established one here, and that looks like a new one's coming up here. I didn't notice that before. That's good. And then there's one tiny one under there. All right, that's good. I thought I was down to 2 plants, but it looks like I have 4 plants going. So that'll get me a really nice start in the yard to get these established. Okay, and the last plant I'm going to talk about is Rattlesnake Master. It's an Eryngium. It has these white spiky seed heads. It really stands out in the prairie garden. It's pretty interesting. It likes full sun and medium wet to medium dry soil, and it also requires 60 days of cold stratification. So these were in the fridge for 60 days, moist stratification. And they've been looking really good up until the last like day or so. I wonder if they got a little too close to the grow light. I might move them away because this part's looking a little crispy on a few of these taller ones on the ends. So I think I might try moving them away from the grow light and just have them in the window light and see if they're happier with that. And again, I'm going to wait a little bit longer, like maybe 1 or 2 of these might be good for transplanting into a bigger pot, but these smaller ones probably need a little more time. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And hopefully they do all right in here, and this crispiness is just a momentary setback, and we'll have some neat seed head Rattlesnake Master plants in the garden this year. Okay, so that's the update on some of the Prairie Moon plants I'm growing. And again, if you are at all interested in native plants, I definitely recommend checking out Prairie Moon's website and maybe requesting a catalog. They have so much information, so much knowledge about what grows. Some of the plants are really easy and common plants, some are more rare plants, but even if you can just fit a few into your garden, it's great for pollinators, it's great for the habitat and the environment to make sure that these plants stick around and don't get lost to development. So yeah, that's about it for today, and we'll see you next time.